think it was real important and also very unique. You know, during the 20s, everyone went downtown to shop, and you didn't have shopping centers that people went to. And when Mr. Nichols decided to build this shopping center, what made it unique was not only the fact that it was a shopping center, but he put it in the middle of a residential section. And then to top it off, he did an unusual architecture for Oklahoma City. So I can just imagine during the time whenever people started finding out about it, where they would go, hey, did you hear about that new development that Mr. Nichols did down in the Paseo neighborhood, and how it would draw people down here, and it would be very different from any other experience that they had in Oklahoma City. I think that Mr. Nichols was just an innovative thinker, because you think of the other areas that he also developed where there were communities, and obviously it was important to him to have centers within communities that people could walk to, where you didn't have to have a car, and to people could walk around during the daytime and feel safe. And he was a very family-oriented person, obviously. And I think it was during a time when people needed to come together in communities just like today, and I think that's one reason why Paseo has come back alive. During the 50s, that's when there were a lot of jazz clubs down here. It was a very lively nightlife from what I understand. But also during the 50s, the Paseo Plunge, which was a swimming pool, was open. And I recently sat next to a senior citizen at an event. And when she learned that I was with Paseo, she was telling me about when she was a young child and how she came down here every day during the summer and went swimming. So during the day, it was full of laughter and kids and families. And then in the evening, there was this very vibrant community of people that came together, musicians and people that enjoyed the nightlife of jazz and good music.
When I was a child, we spent time on the Paseo. We used to get on our bicycles and go to the Paseo Plunge and swim. And it was a spirited and interesting place. And in my youth, that was the only swimming pool that was available to young people, or adults for that matter, to go swimming in Oklahoma City, unless you were a member of the country club, which at that time I couldn't afford. Over time it changed for a variety of reasons. But in 1954, it was bought by a fellow named Jake Samara. And in 1956-57, the pool was closed because of the polio scare. It was throughout the country. They closed all public swimming pools. And in 1960, they got together and decided to make a large building out of it. So they took the bottom out of the pool. They turned the pool into a basement, put a first floor on it, went up 12 feet and put a second floor and put a 14-foot, put a roof up there into a building that is now probably 28,000 square feet of space. And they left the deck that was around the swimming pool. And the deck was the place that we used to go up and slide down into the pool. And on top of the deck, we have now built structure that makes the building look more like it belongs on the Paseo Street. So. We had just gone through the hippie generation, and the Paseo was the Hay-Ashbury of Oklahoma. That's where all the hippies hung out in the late 60s, early 70s. And that's not a bad thing, but the process of devoting all of it in that way changed the nature of the street at that time. And then when that movement closed so quickly and abruptly, the street was left vacant and in great need of attention. So that's the way it came on, and that's the way it was when we became involved. In those days, it just looked like an old, beat-up neighborhood. And it's taken a few years to bring that around. And it's a continuing process. It's ongoing. You always have to protect your neighborhood. You always have to work with it and have to make it better. And a part of the fun of doing that is collaborating with a lot of other people who are creative and want to do it also. I enjoy working with older buildings because they're creative and they got a history about them. It's just more fun for me than going out and building a new little box building or a big box building. It's more fun for me. There's a lot of history there associated with it, and there are opportunities to gather some of that history and leave it in place and make it better. And so I've learned over time that the best way for me to do that is in segments. So I take it one day at a time. I have a short-term plan, and we go through it and we work on those plans, and then we look to see what's next. And so it will take us a little while to accomplish these things, but in the process we'll find new avenues of interest, new ways of dealing with the building. We'll find out new things about the building that give us opportunities for more creativity. So that's the reason we do it that way.
When I very first moved here, there was a great club called Medina's. And Medina's is where I went every weekend to go dancing and to listen to music. But there wasn't a great deal more down here than Medina's. But since then, I mean, we have 3 great places to eat now. We have a great gift shop, we have clothing shops, and we have all of the galleries that are down here now, and it's just completely different. There's a lot of life down here now, and it's an exciting time to be a part of the Paseo.
I want it to continue to be an arts district. I want it to serve the needs of the community in the arts and offer a nice social experience when they come down. It's one of we have an annual festival that's been going on for over 30 years, 33 or 34 years now. It's the only place that I know of where you can go to an arts festival where the streets are filled with new artists, but at the same time you can go into the permanent studios of other artists that work there and live there all the time. And we have great restaurants there. Picasso's, Paseo Grill, Sauced are on the street. The venerable and historic Red Rooster Bar and Grill is at the corner of 30th Walker. We consider that to be a part of our venue. And so they're great places to eat and have fun and interesting people to deal with. And it's just a nice experience for everybody.
Well, I was thrilled when I heard about the award. I've loved Paseo from the day that I moved to Oklahoma City 18 years ago. I've always come down to listen to music and to eat and to shop, and I think it's well deserved. And I've visited some of the other communities that won it at the same time, and we're definitely up there with them. It didn't surprise me whenever I saw who the other winners were, that we were included.
I must tell you that was an unexpected occurrence. That is a very significant designation. The city of Frankfurt Dwight and other major important areas were selected as our co-recipients of that award for this year. And for those folk in Washington to find this little 3-block neighborhood and its associated family neighborhood and consider it to be one of the 10 best neighborhoods in the country is remarkable and very much appreciated.